Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my Game of the Year video for 2016. This year was another great year in gaming, as we saw a number of great games released throughout the year. The indie market continues to be strong as more and more great games get released by these small developers. Of course, the year was not perfect by any stretch of the means, as we continue to see some games being released unfinished and some developers straight up lying to the gaming community. This year, for my Game of the Year video, I've come up with 3 additional categories in addition to my top 5 games of 2016. Let's kick this off with the biggest pile of bantha poodoo, No Man's Sky. In the last few years, we have seen a renewed interest in the space sim in one form or another. The developers at Hello Games promised us that No Man's Sky would be the game we are all looking for, featuring items such as base building, multiplayer, ground vehicle combat, real space combat with destroying space stations and fleets, actual ship classes, hacking, radio chatter, an endgame upon reaching the center of the galaxy, and the list goes on and on. When the game launched, 80 to 90% of the promised features were simply missing. Their overall marketing and handling of the game has been a complete disaster. Post-launch, the developers went silent for months, letting the community burn the whole thing down to the ground. This is not how you handle PR. The lies and deceptions from Hello Games will go down in history as one of the biggest gaming scandals we have ever seen. The best game I didn't have time to play. Doom 2016. In a year with so many great games, I didn't have time to play them all. Doom is one that slipped under my radar. With one of the best campaigns of the year, Doom 2016 has risen to the top of many people's Game of the Year lists. With incredible action, gameplay, and a world-class soundtrack, Doom is a game that I'm going to try and find time for in 2017. The best Steam Early Access game that I played this year. Osiris New Dawn. With the disaster of No Man's Sky, Phoenix Fire Entertainment took it upon themselves to create something similar, but to do it right. They didn't charge $60, only about $20 when they launched Osiris New Dawn into the Steam Early Access. A game that promised many of the same things as No Man's Sky, such as base building, multiplayer, ground vehicle combat, were all in the game. Phoenix Fire chose a route of working with the community to build the game. Work on bugs and content a few pieces at a time. That way, when the game finally does release, it will release in a much better state. For an indie dev, this is how you take full advantage of the Steam Early Access. This is how you do things right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for my top 5 games of 2016. Number 5.
Hello, Two Forks Tower.
Hello? Whoever this is?
It's Henry, right?
Yeah.
I'm Delilah.
Yeah, that's what the guy said on the phone.
So, what's wrong with you?
Excuse me?
People take this job to get away from something. So, what's wrong?
What's wrong with you?
That's a great idea. Go ahead.
Look, hiked for 2 days, so I don't really follow whatever it is you're doing right now.
You take a stab at what's wrong with me.
Fine, then can I sleep forever?
Sure, buddy. Okay, now go ahead.
Okay, you've killed 3 husbands. You're a black widow and you're just out here until the heat dies down and then you'll kill again.
Ooh, very good. Bravo, Henry.
Okay, I sleep now?
Not quite. Now you.
Okay, good night, bye.
Let's see. I don't know anything about you, but maybe you just really like trees. Maybe it's a borderline fetish. A tree fetish.
Good night.
Good night. Welcome to the job.
Firewatch was a complete surprise for me. I have never really played one of these walking simulator genre games before. This one, in particular, really caught my eye. The visual art style of the game really drew me in. The story of the main character and his relationship with his wife at the start of the game had me tearing up at times. Once the adventure begins, it's the voice acting of the 2 main characters that really makes this game what it is.
Well, they left their clothes out to dry. It looks like 2 people. What if they're naked?
Won't that be exciting? Look, they're obviously still there, so tell them off and then head back.
I found a bra.
A nudie pyromaniac. Remain professional.
There are, panties?
There are what?
I don't want to say that word again.
Why, 'cause you're 12?
There's a... Ooh.
Yes?
There are 2 naked ladies out here.
Can you handle that?
Come on, I like naked ladies, same as anyone, but there's,
2?
Yeah.
I know this will be tough for you, but try to pick your tongue up off the ground and do your job.
Okay.
The overall story in the first 2 acts is really good. Crazy stuff starts to happen. You then start making up your own conclusion on what is really happening in the story. There are so many games out there that are so cut and dry. Sometimes, as the player, you need a bit of mystery, letting your mind wander to see how things are really going to turn out. Number 4.
Detect a functioning uplink targeting module, 428 meters northeast. My analysis indicates a throw is our only option here. I can throw you across the gap.
Are you sure about this?
There is a 68% chance of success.
What about the other 32%?
There is a 32% chance of an incomplete traversal, resulting in catastrophic trauma, massive internal bleeding, and multiple compound fractures. Dismemberment may also occur. There is also the possibility of electrocution and disintegration within the toxic fog below. Wind, 3 knots, heading 274. Range, 95 meters. Projectile mass, 89 kilograms. Trust me.
Good throw.
You're welcome, pilot. Good luck over there.
Richter, this is Blisk. Yeah, here's Richter. That damn pilot is trying to use the beacon. End this. I'm counting on you. Blisk out.
Titanfall 2 unfortunately suffered from a poor release date, being released 1 week after Battlefield 1 and 1 week before Call of Duty. As it turns out, of the 4 big shooters that were released during this time frame, Titanfall 2 ended up being the best one. The developers listened to the fans and created a single-player campaign in this universe, which is what people wanted out of the first game. The business model of free DLC and maps also makes Titanfall 2 the best value of the 4. The campaign itself is an amazing piece of writing and level design. There is one level in particular where you are in a factory that is building houses. That is one of the best designed levels I have ever seen in a game. The time shifting mechanic that allows you to freely shift between two different time frames is also another nice design choice for this game.
Rifle search. Get the rest of the eggheads evacuated and set up a choke point.
Additional laser meshes are online. Let's box him in.
Contact! We are under attack!
Control, we've initiated contact with the intruder, but his movement is erratic.
The multiplayer also received a bit of a polish. There are some who think they didn't make enough changes to multiplayer, but overall it continues what it did from the last game, which is a solid PvP experience. Titanfall 2 is a step up from the previous game. The developers listened to the community and gave us what we wanted, and this is the Titanfall we were looking for. Number 3.
Secrets and wonders can be found in the most tenebrous corners of this place. Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive. Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Darkest Dungeon. Now, you might be thinking, wait, didn't this game come out like a few years ago? In fact, the full release was actually January 19th of 2016. This is another great example of how to use Steam Early Access correctly. This game was built with community feedback the whole way. If you don't know, Darkest Dungeon has become sort of the staple for the roguelike dungeon crawling RPGs. Even with this game being in early access, other games of the same genre were being released and compared to Darkest Dungeon. I have heard so many times over the last year and a half people trying to describe a game only for the other person to say, "Oh, you mean like Darkest Dungeon?" When a game that has not even been released is being used as examples, you know you have created something special. Since the release of the game, the developers at Red Hook Studios have continued to push free updates, making the game even better. Wayne June, the narrator of Darkest Dungeon, is one of the key pieces of what makes this game so special.
Ruin has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power.
My God, that voice. I want to see this guy ordering food from a drive-thru. That would be amazing. The art style and subtle combat animations gave this game a unique look and feel. If you enjoy those heart-stopping moments in a video game, Darkest Dungeon is one that you won't want to miss. Number 2.
I'm going all out.
Well, here we
Just
are.
don't get too carried away.
Sure want to talk.
Hey, Blondie!
That's me, I guess?
Nice one, Prompto.
It's nothing.
What's the idea? Apologies. Iggy, look out. Gladio! Nice work, Gladio. Ignis! Prompto! Wake up!
Yes, sir. Let me know. Stand in your way. Got my back.
Prince of Pain!
Yep.
The Final Fantasy franchise as a whole has seen its ups and downs over the years. The last few years in general have seen a downward spiral of this beloved franchise. 15 in general went through a number of revamps and name changes. I feel like someone at Square finally put their foot down and said, enough of this nonsense. We are making 15. We are going to put everything we have into this project, and we are going to make Final Fantasy great again. Along with the game, they released a feature film and a YouTube animated series. All of this coming together to create one of the best Final Fantasy worlds and stories that we have seen in a long time. With that being said, the game does suffer from what I'm calling the MGS5 syndrome a little bit. Some of the chapters are a bit messy, although we are being told from the developers they plan to go back and fix these issues with free patches and DLC. As the story develops and you learn more about what is going on in the world, the relationship between the four main characters grows. The combat system is one of the neatest new combat systems I have seen in some time, taking what is basically a hack and slash style system, but adding combos, call-ins, and warping with the main character. The standard RPG elements are all there, along with side systems like fishing. The game might actually have the best fishing system I've ever seen in a game. Final Fantasy XV is an incredible game. It's a step in the right direction to making Final Fantasy a household name again. Let's see if Square can keep up this momentum and move forward by making more great games. And my game of the year for 2016 is... When you look at the work Blizzard has done since about 1998, one of the most incredible things they have been able to do is to create games that normally only appealed to a narrow audience and expand it to a larger audience. They have done it once again with Overwatch. Now, Team Fortress 2 was a frontrunner in this category for a number of years. Blizzard saw a genre that was popular but didn't have a lot of competition, and they seized that moment. For me, I hate Call of Duty and Battlefield style of multiplayer. They always have some sort of leveling system. The queue will throw new people with no gear in with vets who have everything. It's just not fun. With Overwatch, everyone is on the same playing field with characters and gear. It comes down to skill. I have put over 200 hours into Overwatch. All of the characters are great with their own sets of skills and personalities. The map design and game types are well thought out and play really well. Since launch, the developers have released new game modes along with free maps and heroes. This is a great business model to have for this type of game. Of course, there is still a great deal of mystery surrounding this game. What really happened with that Overwatch MMO? What is this new secret project that Blizzard is working on? Are we going to be getting an Overwatch single-player game or mode of some type? Only time will tell. Overall, Blizzard has done it once again with another great game. For a company who has never made a shooter before, they knocked it out of the park with this one. And let's not forget about those Overwatch animated shorts. Blizzard, listen to me. We need that Overwatch movie. Make it happen. Make it happen.
Time's running out! Punch our backs into it!
Everyone, stay together!
Play of the game.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, will go ahead and do it for my Game of the Year video for 2016. There's going to be a bunch of really good stuff coming out in 2017, Mass Effect Andromeda being one of them. So once again, I hope everybody enjoyed the video. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Thank you all so much for watching. And with that being said, everybody keep playing and have fun.